All right, let's talk about one of the most debated characters from Punishment 2, Feng. So many people look at him and see the absolute picture of emotional stability. But is that what's really going on? Today, we're going to deconstruct the man behind the badge.
So is that all there is to it? Is he just emotionally stable? I mean, on the surface, yeah, the guy seems unbreakable, like a rock. But we're going to peel back those layers, and I think you'll see that what we're calling stability is actually something way more profound, and honestly, a whole lot more painful. Okay, first up, armor after heartbreak. And the whole idea here is simple. He's not stable because he's strong, he's stable because his heart's been broken too many times. Let's just get this out of the way right now. Feng's calm isn't some kind of superpower, it's scar tissue. It is armor he was forced to build after his heart was just shattered over and over again. I mean, just think about those key moments everyone points to. When his junior, Hu Xiaoyu, tragically dies, there are no screams, no big emotional breakdown. And later, when he has to arrest his own childhood brother, his hand is perfectly steady as he slaps on the cuffs. This is the stuff people see and go, wow, he's so stable.
But here's the thing. What if we're looking at it all wrong? As one person put it, this is clearly a heart shattered to pieces, then recast by himself with steel and concrete. It's not that he lacks feelings, it's that his heart was so completely broken that he had to rebuild it himself, and he didn't use flesh and blood. He used steel and concrete. It's a fortress.
And his actions totally back this up. This is a man living a life with no future. He's an orphan who was handed the toughest possible start in life. He pours all his money into his cases and helping his colleagues, never on himself. He even secretly gets tested to see if he can be a kidney donor for his fallen partner's mom. These aren't the actions of someone planning for tomorrow. When you don't believe you have a future, you have nothing left to fear.
So what we're seeing isn't really a personality trait, it's a survival skill. It's what a soldier learns to do on the battlefield to stay alive. He's learned how to take every last bit of his pain, his grief, and his anger, and turn it all into bullets aimed squarely at the enemy. And that's exactly why that one moment he does lose control is so incredibly important. Remember when he finds out about the mole in the team and he just explodes, smashing that trash can? That moment is precious. It's the crack in the armor. It's the proof that underneath all that steel and concrete, there is still a human being, and he is feeling an immense amount of pain. Now, this whole internal battle leads to a massive conflict between his own feelings and his duty to the law. And in that fight, Feng is always the one left paying the price, shouldering the lonely, hidden cost of justice. And you can see his dilemma laid out so clearly here. On one side, you have Qing, emotion, relationships, the brothers he grew up with, who he relied on. On the other side, you have Fa, the law, represented by the cold steel of handcuffs that he has to put on with his own two hands. It's a truly impossible choice. And yet, he makes the choice. He chooses the law. But it is so important to understand why. It's not because he's some cold-blooded machine. It's because he understands a terrifying truth. If the law bends, even just once for someone you love, it creates a crack in the system, and that crack will let countless more innocent people fall through and suffer. And that, right there, is the heart of his sacrifice. It's summed up perfectly in this line. The weight of justice is sometimes loneliness. It's not about getting medals or being a hero. Sometimes the price you pay is a profound, crushing loneliness. So how do we, the audience, get to see all of this inner turmoil? Well, it all comes down to the performance, which brings us to the power of restraint. We have to talk about how the actor Huang Jingyu uses this incredible restraint to show us the deep exhaustion hiding inside this tough-as-nails character. The brilliance is all in what he doesn't do. There are no big, dramatic shouting matches or sobbing scenes. No, you have to watch closely. The story is told in the micro-expressions. It's the slightly reddened eyes. It's a subtle change in his breathing. It's a tiny tremor in his fingers. And when you see these tiny details, you just get this overwhelming feeling that this man is on the absolute verge of collapsing, but he won't let himself. He holds it all in, and that feels so authentic to what his job is. You can feel the pain, but you simply cannot afford to fall apart. And listen, the toll wasn't just emotional. The physical commitment from the actor was just insane. We're talking climbing a 30-meter high freighter, jumping into the ocean during a typhoon,
All of those relentless, brutal alleyway chases. He apparently finished filming literally covered in pain relief patches. That exhaustion you see on screen, it was real. Which brings us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why would anyone endure all of this? Well, it's because Feng isn't just solving a case. He's fighting for something so much bigger. He's fighting for the dawn. He's guarding the hope of ordinary people. And let's be really clear about who the enemy is here. It's not just some thug on the street. His real opponent is a vast, invisible network of power. It's a system of what the show calls sophisticated evil, the kind of evil that wears suits and operates from behind desks, that can turn off an entire village's power with a single phone call.
So the question is, why keep going? When every step forward feels like you're struggling through a swamp that's trying to pull you under. When any ally could secretly be a traitor, why persist?
The answer is just so powerful. The sky that Hall Xiaoyu broke open with his life, someone has to keep holding it up. His junior tore a tiny hole in that dark sky with his own life. He created a sliver of light, and now someone has to take on the responsibility of holding that opening up, no matter how heavy it gets. At the end of the day, he's driven by a belief that is incredibly simple and pure. It doesn't matter who is hiding in the shadows. It doesn't matter how powerful they are. The investigation must go all the way to the very end. Period. And this really leaves us with the final, most powerful takeaway from his story. It's a thought about how change actually happens in the world. The dawn, that moment of light and hope, it isn't something you can just wait for. It doesn't just arrive on its own. It's broken through by the flesh and blood of people like Feng. It's forced into existence. They are the ones who have to throw their very bodies against the darkness until it finally cracks. And that is the true painful cost of the dawn.